Om Gajananam Bhuta Ganati Sevitam Kapita Jambu Palasara Bhakshitam Umasutam Shoka Vinasha Karanam Namami Vigneshwara Pada Pankajam Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sadashiva Samarambam Sankaracharya Madhyamam Asmat Acharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Virjam Karavavakai Tejasvinavadidamastu ma vidvishavakaye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Good morning and welcome to SanKatha online program session number 3. Now, I think this name SanKatha looks good to me because it is not merely a program designed to learn Sanskrit and Kathopanishad. It also means a good story, SanKatha. I have told you Sanskritam means well done. Sam itself means good. And Katha in this case is also a story. So we actually start this Kathopanishad with this background story. So the name is most appropriate because it is something to do with a nice story. And who doesn't like a story? A story is always good to hear, especially if it concerns a hard to understand philosophy, which is being taught in this Kathopanishad. So we are going to give you a very quick overview as usual of the last session, particularly for those who missed it. So I will move to the first slide where we have this overview. I did mention that the Kathopanishad is a dialogue between a very serious student, young student by name Nachiketas and Lord Yama. And his father got angry with him and gave him away to Lord Yama. And he goes to Yamaloka, had to stay there for 3 nights before he could get an interview with Lord Yama. And being a guest, Lord Yama grants him 3 boons for the 3 nights he spent waiting for him. So he's already asked the first boon, and the second boon, Nachiketas asks Lord Yama to teach him the secret of the fire sacrifice ritual. Yajnam Havan as we call it, which is a very important component in Sanatana Dharma. We use fire for almost any kind of puja rituals. And it is believed that fire ritual is a medium between us and the celestials. So how do they connect up, and what is the secret and what do you get? That was the second question which was asked by Nachiketas. And Lord Yama more than pleased that the young student wants to know about it, and he teaches him the Agni Vidya, the knowledge of it. And he tells him, Tavaiva namna bhavatam yagnihi sringam cheva bane karupam bruhana Tavaiva namnam avataya magnihi. This ritual will take your name, Nachiketas Agni, and he gives him a necklace of gems as a token of appreciation. You please take it. And then Nachiketas proceeds to ask for the third boon. Nachiketas asks Yama a very difficult question. He says, I have doubts like most people have on earth on the soul. Does it exist and what happens after death? The Lord Yama doesn't answer him immediately. Actually, he dissuades Nachiketas from asking this boon, and instead he tempts him with all kinds of gifts and wants him to choose some other boon. But Nachiketas is very firm. He rejects all the offers made by Yama and persists on his question. He says, I want only this boon, nothing else. And Yama has no option but to respond to him, albeit gradually. He doesn't say the third wish is granted, but after a couple of persuasions, and he feels he's not able to convince Nachiketas, he's able to respond to him in steps. That is what we talked about last session, and we are going to continue in session 3, the conversation between Lord Yama and Nachiketas. This session, we are going to have, starting with the verse 2 of Valli 2, chapter 1, Sreyaha cha preyaha cha manushyam yetaha tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha Sreyo hi dhiro abhipreyaso vrinite preyo mando yogakshemat vrinite. We did conclude last session with this verse, but for the sake of recalling it, I am giving you this again. Now this Valli, or sub-chapter you can say, has 25 verses. It begins with Yama appreciating Nachiketas, not granting him a boon straight away. The verses 1 to 13 you will find, they are just admiration of the student, the Guru, Lord Yama himself, and the Shastras laid down. So in only verse 14, you find Nachiketas finds Yama is going around but not answering. So he reminds him to come back and respond to his request for the third boon. Coming to the point, he says, now this verse talks about two important terms. One is called Preyas and the other is called Sreyas. Now what is this Preyas and Sreyas? Pri is the root for something you like, lovable, enjoyable, pleasurable. So Preyas is referring to those which are pleasant, which are enjoyable, and something which people normally like. Priyam, Priya, Preeti, all these are related to this. It's actually the way of life. We have those 4 paths, Dharmartha, Kama, Moksham. Dharma, Artha, Kama, all the 3 are connected with Preyas. It's only the last one, which is the moksha, which is connected with the next word called Sreyas. Now, what is Sreyas? Sreyas is superior, ultimate. The bliss, moksha, whichever name you call, that is the ultimate. So while you follow these 3 paths, there is no bar on them. Vedas, in fact, encourage you. People think that once you study philosophy, you have to go to sannyasi or blessed. No. There are many grihasthas like me too, who follow the three paths with the goal in mind constantly, that we do these for the sake of eventually attaining that bliss. Therefore, the Sreyas and Preyas both are available, and there are people who prefer one of the two or both. But this smart boy, Nachiketas, he chooses the Sreyas. The dull person chooses the pleasant to satisfy his immediate concerns. The smart one, who's endowed with the power of discrimination, chooses the Sreyas, or the ultimate good. So you have both these paths, and this is not only provided in our philosophy, but it's been provided in almost all the other countries too. I remember as a student of management, I studied a theory called Maslow's theory. I'm going to give you this Maslow's theory of human needs. I studied at St. Xavier's in Mumbai long ago. Now, Maslow was a psychologist. He put our needs into a pyramid, with the bottom saying we need the basic needs like food, water, a shelter, security, safety. These are basic fundamental needs. Now, you can't preach philosophy to a beggar, for example. Okay, what he looks at, basically he wants food. To him, the Sreyas will not apply. Then if these basic needs are met, then comes another set of needs, what is called psychological needs. The people want to have good relations, friends, family, some sort of belonging somewhere, a company where you find it happy to work with. Doesn't stop there, goes a step further. You want some recognition also. You want promotions at work, a feeling of accomplishment. Well, I've done something. I've invented something. I've contributed to the growth of a family, contributed to the growth of an organization. Does the need stop there? No. The apex of this pyramid is what he calls as self-actualization, which means fulfilling the long-felt needs, achieving the full potential of yourself, including the most creative activities. So this is really the apex, and usually a man climbs up the ladder and goes to the top. So this self-actualization is called Atma Santushti. You're fulfilling your own internal deep desires. And many people reach it pretty late in life. How does it compare with our own Shastras? The next slide will show you that we have what is called Panchakoshas. We believe that there are 5 sheaths, like those 5 steps you had in Maslow's theory. It is there in everybody. The basic one, the first one is Annamaya Kosha. Annam means food. And we all need food. And therefore, this first sheath, as it is called, is Annamaya Kosha. It's coupled with the most important need of air, Prana Maya Kosha. Prana means the life breath, you can say. That is another need. The third one is related to the mind. Manomaya Kosha. It's a sheath of one's mind, which is also enveloping each one of us. Outer is Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnanam itself means science. But here it's used in the sense of wisdom. Jnanam. The sheath of wisdom. And finally, the outermost is Anandamaya Kosha. Ananda means happiness. It's a sheath of bliss. Now, Maya consists of, these are different 5 sheaths which consists of different things: of food, the air, the mind, the wisdom, knowledge, ultimately bliss. So everybody has these panchakoshas. So you see the similarity between the Western wisdom and our own wisdom in our Sanatana Dharma. So going further, let's go to the next verse. Satvam priyan priya rupan chakaman abhityayan nachiketaha atyasrakshi nayetam sringam vittamayim avaptaha yasyam majjanti bahavo manushyaha. Yama continues. He says, Nachiketas, I gave you so many choices, and you have very carefully considered all my thoughts, all the offers that he made. You evaluated them, and they were all temptations. Normally, anybody would have taken it because they're all delightful. Yet, you have rejected them. You have not taken my garland of wealth, in which people would get immersed or sunk or gone astray. Word by word meaning, sa is that, tvam, you, priyan, desirable, that which you like, priya rupan, delightful objects, priya rupan, cha is and or to, kaman, or those things which you desire, kaman things. Abhidyayan, dhyayan means to think about. Abhidyayan is after thinking upon careful thoughts. Nachiketaha, oh Nachiketa, is addressing by name. Atyasakshi, you discarded them, you rejected them. These Sringam means of Vittamayim is related to wealth. Avaptaha is to accept. Yasyam, in those in which Majjanti means people get drowned, immersed. Bahavo, most people. Manushyaha, men. Most people would have taken them. They would have gone completely immersed in those kind of wealth and think that they are happy, but you didn't take any of those. You have rejected all of them. You know, there is a very nice verse on the various pleasures that people get. I'd like to read it out for you because it is something very good, and I thought it is most appropriate here. Bhoge rogamayam kule chutibayam vitte nripala bayam mane dainya bayam bale rupubayam rupe jaraya bayam shastre vadi bayam gune kalabayam kaye kritantad bayam sarve vastu bayanvitam Bhuvi nrinam vairagam meva abhayam. I'll give you the gist of this meaning. Bhoge means an enjoyment. When you enjoy something, there's always a fear of disease. If you eat too much, you have problem of indigestion. Other problems connected with the stomach. So over enjoyment is also bad. And we see diseases all over the world because of over enjoyment. Kule chuti bayam. Kule in social position, let's say if somebody has got a fame, there is a fear of falling off. Chuti Bhayam. Vitte Dripalat Bhayam. Te is in wealth. Vittam, I said, is wealth. Vitte Dripalat Bhayam. Demonetization, which we had recently in India. Government, long people had a lot of land. So they brought what is called Urban Sealing Act. And the government took over many of the surplus lands. So there is a fear. High taxation. These are all associated with wealth. And in honor, Mane Dainya Bhayam. The fear of humiliation. When the honor is lost by infamy, somebody maligns you, they can't stand, they are jealous, therefore they malign you, scandals. It's a fear of that. Getting arrested. In power, Bale, Ripu Bhayam. The fear of enemies. If you are very strong, somebody challenges you and he defeats you. It happened with all kings, with governments. Rupe Jaraya Bhayam. Rupe means beauty. Old age is a threat for people who are beautiful. You see so many celebrities who look very beautiful in young age, but then when they become old, they are like any grandmom. So there is a fear of old age. They may do plastic surgery, but still they cannot restore the original beauty. Shastre Vadi Bhayam. Those who are very experts in certain subjects, they always feel that somebody will outwit them or bring something new. Like it happened with Mandana Mishra versus Adi Shankaracharya. Gune Khalabhayam. In virtue, the fear of people, what they call traducers, who come to malign your name. And Kaye Kritantatbhayam. Kaye is the body. Kayena Vacha Manasendrirva. You have the famous verse, Kayena Vacha. Kaye refers to the body. And the body is the fear of death. Is always lurking. Sarve vastu bhayanvitam. All present things in the world pertaining to the man are accompanied with some fear or other. What is the solution? The last line reads, Bhuvi Nrinam Vairagyam Eva Abhayam. Abhayam means no fear. When you see Hindu deities, they have this hand like this, No fear. Abhayam. Abhayahastam they call it. Abhayahastam means I give you protection. Don't be scared. Don't have fear. So when you put A before any word in Sanskrit, it comes opposite. Bhayam means fear. Abhayam means no fear. So here it is Vairagyam eva abhayam. What is Vairagyam? Vairagyam is dispassion or detachment. Let's say I have a TV and I want to sell it off. It is working all right, fine. But something goes wrong with it, I get worried because I have to call a service mechanic and I have to pay. So what I do is, I'll buy a new TV, let me sell it off to somebody else. So there's a neighbor and he says, I want a television. So I sell it to him. It's no longer mine. The possession is taken off by somebody else. I'm happy. After a couple of weeks, that person comes in there, I don't know what happened, the TV stopped working. Do you feel anything about it? If it were mine, I would say, oh my God, it's going to cost me a lot of money, plus disruption in my viewing. But because the ownership changed to someone else, I'm no longer concerned. It's his business. Let him worry, not me. Why? Because I am detached. The connection between me and the ownership is gone. It's somebody else. Therefore, I don't feel offended or get worried. So, ownership of anything means you have attachment, and that gives you problems. The ownership is gone, you are detached, means you are happy. So, this is a very simple example to tell you how it is. So, here, in this case, we have all the fears, but unless one gets dispassionate, he doesn't get the bliss. Going further, the next verse, this is what I mentioned, Boge Rogabayam. I've given you this slide, but it is only in Sanskrit, but it's for your record. The verse number 4, Valli 2, Duram yete viparite vishuchi avidya yacha vidya iti jnata vidya abhipsinam nachiketa sammanye natva kama bahavo lolupanta. Now Yama is explaining more. Ete is these two. Which two? What we mentioned earlier, Sreyas and Preyas. These two, Duram is far off. The distance between these two is far off. They don't meet. They are two different paths. Distinctly removed, Iparite. Because Vishuchi, Vishayam means object, Vishuchi is a goal. They are leading to divergent goals, two different goals. What are those two different goals? One is Vidya, which is knowledge. The other one is opposite, very easy in Sanskrit, Avidya. You know, you don't have two different words. Vidya, Avidya. Nyaya, Anyaya. Krama, Akrama. It's such an easy language. So here, Avidya, ignorance, and Vidya, knowledge. They are two different goals. Iti jnata, are known. Jnanam, knowledge. Vijnanam, science. Iti jnata, are known. Vidya, abhipsanam, one who desires this knowledge. Nachiketasam is addressing Nachiketas. Manye, I consider. Na, never, tvayu, kama, attractions. Bahavo, alolupanta, many temptations. Now, the words are put in such a way that you might be finding it difficult to connect them into a sentence. But when you see the gist, what it means is knowledge and ignorance lead to two different goals. But Nachiketas, you are the one who is a seeker of wisdom, who you chose the path of Sreyas, and you are not distracted by the temptations I gave you. Therefore, I conclude that you are a seeker of wisdom as you are not distracted. See the justification, that two different paths. One is the Vidya Margam, or the superior path called Jnana Margam. The other one is Ajnana Margam, Jnanam Ajnanam, or Vidya Avidya, wisdom and ignorance, Sreyas and Preyas. Therefore, you chose this Sreyas path. He is actually appreciating Nachiketas for his choice. So he continues further in verse 5. Only two. Avidyayam antare vartamanaha swayam dhiraha panditam manyamanaha. There is a mistake here. It is panditam, not panditam. Dandram yamanaha pariyanti mudaha andena eva niyamanaha yata andaha. So what does this mean? You know, there is an Arabian proverb. Some of you might know it. We describe there are four kinds of people. One kind, those who don't know that they don't know. They are not aware that they don't know. So they shun them. The second category is those who know that they don't know. Many of us fall into the category, we know we don't know something. So teach them so that they know. The third category is they don't know what they know. There are people who know something, like students, they have studied something they know, but then they forget it. So they don't know that they know. So you got to wake them up, revive their memory. The last category, many people fall into that category, that they don't know that they don't know. They know that they know. This is the first category, they don't know that they don't know. The last category is they know that they know. They are the wise people, follow them. So you have four categories: people who don't know that they don't know, people who know that they don't know, people who don't know that they know, and lastly, the wise people who know that they know. Many of these, the gurus and then the teachers, the professors, they know what they know. You need to tap that knowledge. So in India, you find that a lot of people profess to know about everything. I know about it. My father had a colleague, he was working in a chemical factory and he had a boss. You won't tell him, well, sir, the pipeline in plant number 3 is leaking. You'll say immediately, I know about it. In plant number 2, one exhaust fan is not working. Say, I know about it. Everything, he will say, I know about it. So my dad once asked him, sir, please tell me what you don't know so that I can come and tell you that. So you have people, even a chai wala, a small tea shop person, he will talk about everything around the world. He knows about the politics, he knows about leaders, which chief minister is doing what. He knows perhaps everything, except giving you a nice cup of tea, I think. So you have people who will talk about everything, but they don't know. So here he talks about that the people in the midst of ignorance, avidyayam antare, antaha is inside or in the midst of it, vartamanaha existing. Swayam themselves, dhiraha is intelligent. They think themselves intelligent, panditam, enlightened, manyamanaha considering, dantramyamanaha go round and round, stagger, pariyanti following crooked paths, mudaha means fools, senseless ones, idiots. Andena eva, anda is blind. In Hindi also you say anda, blind ones. Niyamanaha, being led by. Yatha, just as andaha, other blind ones. So, in the gist is, in the midst of ignorance, considering themselves intelligent and learned. I know everything. When you don't know, fools go round and round, staggering to and fro, like one blind man leading another, blind ones led by other blind ones. A lot of people have talked about this. There is a very famous composition, it's a hymn by Adi Shankaracharya, where this word Muda comes. Muda is fools. He was walking by and he saw an old man trying to understand Sanskrit grammar. Sanskrit grammar is very difficult, He was trying to drill through the grammar. Adi Shankaracharya watched him. And he says, why is this man trying to read grammar at this age when you should be really thinking about the ultimate? What's his goal? So he starts. I'm going to give you this first verse. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate, Samprapte San Nihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Tukring Karane, Nahi Nahi Rakshati Dukring Karane, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. There are many other verses. It's a beautiful song, a composition which talks about the foolishness of human beings. So here, this particular first verse is telling, why don't you worship Govinda? Bhaja Govindam. Govindam Bhaja Mudamate, you foolish one. Samprapte Nihite Kale. At the end of your life, this grammar is not going to help you. Nahi Nahi Rakshati. This Sanskrit grammar is not going to help you. Something else has to help you. Therefore, you say, you have to constantly keep that goal in mind. Happiness is human nature. There is nothing wrong to desire it. The Shastras, in fact, permit it. There is no bar on that. But what is really wrong with it? But seeking the pleasure outside when it is right inside. That is what is wrong. And Shastras keep on repeating, it is in you, the discovery of self. That makes you happy. Not material things which are going around. There is nothing wrong in seeking them, but at the same time, discover the ultimate happiness within you. I once asked an American who came to India long ago, so what is so distinctly different from your country in India? And he said, well, I've been looking around, I find people are generally very happy, but no reason to be happy. You go to Mumbai, for example, you see the children in the slums, they happily play around. The environment is far from satisfactory. In general, they'll find the material pleasures there are much less, but still people have higher level of happiness because they seek happiness inside. So, in the midst of ignorance, thinking themselves as very intelligent, very learned, fools go round and round, staggering like blind ones led by other blind ones. Yama is telling this to Nachiketas. Going further, verse 7 now. Shravanayaha api bahubihi yaha nalabhyaha shrunuvantaha api bhagavaha yamna vidyuhu ascharyo kusalosya labda ascharyo jnata kusalanusishtaha. Shravanaya. No, our Vedas are called Shrutis because it was what was heard. Here, Yama is criticizing those people who are like fools staggering around and who, many of them, this being or the ultimate or the Atman or the bliss is not even heard. Shravanayaha for hearing, api even bahubihi for many, that which is not available, labhyaha. For many, this being, be in capital, this self or the qualities of ultimate bliss is not even heard. Even if it is heard, it is difficult to understand it. Shrunuvantaha api, even if you will hear it, Bhagavaha many, yam vichna, do not vidyuhu understand. Ascharyaha is amazing, wonderful. Wonderful is who? The teacher, Vaktaha, the expounder, is a teacher. Kushalaha, proficient. Who is proficient? Asya labda, who receives this teaching, the student. So, Ascharya repeats again, is whom? The knower and the student, the teacher and the student. Kusala anusishtaha. For many, this being is not even heard. Even if it is heard, it's difficult to understand. But amazing, wonderful is a teacher of it. Wonderful is a person who can understand it when he's taught by a competent teacher. Both are wonders, the teacher and the taught. Now, we have, for children, the famous Panchatantra stories. Many of you might know about that. Very easy way of teaching a moral, a lesson, with the help of animals. You see also cartoons which make use of animals for people to understand something. Unlike the other movies which are coming now through the computers, where there is a lot of fighting and then shooting and so on. But our people were wise. These Panchatantra stories were conceived centuries back, which are still there. Amar Chitra Katha. So you see them, you hear them. Naturally, your mind gets shaped accordingly. For people, it is difficult to see what is not visible. I mentioned about originally in the earlier lesson that people want proof. And Shastras, particularly the subject about Atman, is not based on logic. If somebody says, I want to see Atman, you can't see it. But you can experience it. The other day I was taking a walk in the morning and I sat on a bench and I looked below, just about 1 foot down below. I found small ants going, very small ants. Many of them just crawling. Now, when I walk, I'm not able to see them through my naked eye. I walk. Maybe I even stepped in some of them. But when you sit down and see close, you can see them. And if you use a magnifying lens, you can see it much better. So you have those things which you cannot see in normal ways. You need to have devices to look close and then you see them. But just because you don't see them with the naked eye doesn't mean they don't exist. They do exist. So you need Upanishads to give you that tool, that magnifying lens to see something beyond. Closer look, then you reveal. So here, he's talking about the amazing relationship between a proficient teacher and a and a student who is really interested. Both are amazing. Now you see, Emma is really veering off course. He is trying to delay the reply to Nachiketas on the third question. But Nachiketas doesn't leave. He pulls him back. He says, come to the point. So here, Emma continues with comment, but Nachiketas gently reminds him to answer his core question and explain. Sarva Veda Yat Padam Amananti is verse 15. Sarva Veda Yat Padam Amananti Tapamsi Sarvani Cha Yat Vadanti Yat Ichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Bravimi Om Iti Yetat. Very, very important verse. Emma is now introducing the goal that the Vedas prescribe, they proclaim, for which they prescribe certain requirements to attain that goal. What is that? We are coming to the explanation. Sarva Veda. Very simple to understand. All the Vedas. Yat Padam Amananti. They agree. They proclaim in one voice. They all point to the same thing, that goal. Yat Padam, or path. Tapamsi Sarvani Tapaha. Tapasvi. Tapaha is austerity. Tapasvi is one who does the austerities. So Tapamsi Sarvani, all austerities. Cha Yad Vadanti. They speak of. Yat Ichanto. Icha is desire. Hindi also you say Icha. The Sanskrit word is Icha. Ichanto, desiring that which. Brahmacharyam charanti. Brahmacharya means the practice of brahmacharya. Control of senses. Tat, that to you. Padam is goal. Sangrahena is briefly. Brevimi is I will state, shall I state. What is that goal? The most important one. All of you know it. Om Ityati. It is Om. Abravimi. Brevimi, this word you have heard before. These words are all Sanskrit words, are all very simple to understand, not difficult at all. If you go into the roots, it's even easier. So Yama says, that goal which all the Vedas declare, that which all the penances and austerities proclaim, and desiring which people lead an austere life, that word, I'm going to tell you the secret now. In brief, it is Om. Can you translate this Om in English? No. It is something exclusive to Sanatana Dharma, but also very common for Hindus, Jains, Buddhists. It's a common word. Most of our mantras start with Om. The Gayatri mantra starts with Om. And that is the ultimate. It's a cosmic sound. It is an amazing tool. It was the first word believed to have been heard by the rishis thousands and thousands of years back. The primordial sound, as they call it. The seed of all creations. In fact, the Mandukya Upanishad devotes a lot towards only explaining this Om. You know, there is a word called Taraka Mantra. Tarakam means ferrying across, going across, traveling across. Across what? Across the ocean of samsara, the life, crossing the goals, whatever you have, across and reaching the destination. That is called Taraka. There are only two Taraka mantras. The first is Om. The second is Rama. Both help you travel across the life to reach your ultimate goal. That is why Om is very common and Rama is also very common. Believe the word Rama has two expressions, Ra and Ma. Ra, taken from Narayana, Om Namo Narayana. If you take the Ra out from that, it's Na Ayana. It becomes, Nayana means no direction. So Ra is very important from that. It is so important that if you take it off, it means no direction. Narayana by itself is full word. Take the Ra out. Likewise, we Om Namah Shivaya. Na Ma. Ma is so important. You take Ma out, Na Shivaya. What does it mean? No auspiciousness. Shiva means auspiciousness. Na Shivaya means no auspiciousness. So you take Ra from Narayana and Ma from Namah Shivaya, put it together, becomes Rama. So it is double power. You worship Shiva as well as Narayana both in that. At the same time, it is a Taraka mantra. There are many people propagated in India, Rama. Bodhendra Swamigal of Govindapuram, near my village. The Ramanama Siddhantam advisor. Samartha Ramadas, who was advisor to Shivaji, who changed the history of India, repelled the Mughals. You must go to a place called Sajjangarh near Satara, where he has got his Samadhi. Now, he is such a famous man that he's built many temples. Samartha Ramadas, he was well known in the history as an advisor to Shivaji. And you have many other people like Yogi Ram Saruth Kumar in Tiruvannamalai. Those people, they all talked about Ram. And Om is also being propagated by many people. Sadashiva Brahmendral, Brahmam. Om is also ultimately Brahmam. Manasa Sancharare, Brahmani Manasa Sancharare. One of his very famous compositions. So this Om, he says, is the most important goal for people. Om itself has got 3 syllables. A, U, M. And these syllables make you into one word called Om. And pronouncing that Om itself gives you ultimately the power to overcome your problems and put your mind at rest. Now, many rishis follow this. Rama is also followed by many. Mahatma Gandhi was one in recent times who always talked about the efficacy of Ramanama. He wrote a book called Experiment with Truth, that he talks about Rama, but his prayers never went without Rama. So here, Om is being stressed, and the next 2 verses, they talk about the glory of Om. Going further to verse 16. Etat hi eva aksharam brahmam. Etat hi eva aksharam param. Etat hi eva aksharam yatva. Yaha yat ichchati tasya tate. Etat hi eva. Etat hi means the expression Om, the syllable Om, is indeed Brahman or Brahman. This alone is indeed Brahman. The word, this syllable Aksharam is the Brahman. Etat hi eva, this alone is a supreme. It has got two forms, the lowest as well as the highest. The first is the lowest Brahman, you can say. The other one is the supreme, Jivatma and Paramatma. Jivatma is the lower self, Paramatma is the higher self, supreme Brahman. This alone, this Aksharam, Jnatva, is having meditated upon. He, yat ichchati, desiring which, tasya tat. This is that. Now this may be a little confusing. This is that. Om tat sat, you say. This is that. This is the syllable which obtains all that a person desires. You know, we have a nervous system and we have the body and the spirit. And Om is set to calm down the nervous system. You keep on chanting Om, 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 then you get a certain peace of mind. That is why rishis and tapasvis, they go for Om. Now, in the human system, the body, there are many things which we throw off as wastes. The solid wastes are thrown off in 24 hours. The liquid wastes are thrown off in 4 hours or 5 hours. The air waste, the breathing, we do constantly. Every minute we keep on throwing out air. But certain things we just retain, we don't throw out, and that is causing the problem. What are those? Emotions like hate, jealousy, the fact that we want to be superior to others, overcome, aggression, these are all stored in the body, in the mind, and which we don't throw out. What is the medicine for it? To throw it out. Om. Om is the medicine for it. So, Upanishads actually recommend this as one goal which we have to keep in order to live a better life. So it is something which is so important that there have been many Upanishads written on it. The Vedas prescribe it. They all point to only one goal, practice of which is the most important for human life. So this is being talked about in detail in the subsequent verses you have, and I would like to stop here because we have not much time today. We will continue in the next session the importance of Om and what Yama is able to explain to Nachiketas and how to go about achieving its total happiness or the bliss, how to lead a better life. He talks about the inner qualities and eventually how to overcome those kind of wastes that we have in our body, to throw them out. Just as other things, remove those harmful things within our body and mind, make the whole body and spirit healthier and achieve the ultimate bliss. Now, this can be done while you go. Not necessarily you have to wait until you are 60 years old or 70 years old. You can be any age. The pursuit of happiness is constant. You have the dharmartha kama. At the same time, you can also work towards the bliss. The younger, the better, in fact. So I would urge you to even invite younger people who may be averse to listening to philosophy, but if they start learning and they start tasting the sweetness and they start experiencing the inner bliss that they get out of this, they will not let go. They will pursue it. And I'm sure this will happen in many of these pravachanams you have. So it's an amazing kind of thing that we have students like you who are able to devote time and be interested in learning this, even though it's a hard subject. So I mentioned initially, Upanishads are not intended for everyone, but here is a chance for you to learn something which is being talked about from centuries. And let's get the best out of the wisdom of our ancient people. So we stop at this with our final conclusion here, and we will continue with it in the next session we have. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. I'm going to unmute now. I've unmuted you. Any comments, any questions?
Namaskaram, Guruji. It was a very nice session today. Actually, I didn't realize we had already finished the time.
Very
So
good.
very interesting.
Thank you.
And look forward to the next lessons too.
Invocations.
Good. Very nice to hear that. Anyone else?
You brought out the importance of Om very well, Guruji.
Good. Thank you. And I will meet again next Saturday at the same time. Okay?
Thank you very much,
Okay.
Guruji.
Thank you.
Guruji.
Namaskaram.
Thank you
Have a
very much,
good
Guruji.
weekend.
Welcome. Welcome. Have a wonderful weekend. It's a long weekend here in America.